another Sunday night, another Toy Mart show. And it has been, I think we can all agree that the last couple of weeks, or specifically this last week and specifically, has been really nutty. So, as a disclaimer, we're still not going to get political on this show. So please don't in the comments. We're here to have fun. We're here to talk about stuff, you know. Stuff is what it is. And to be perfectly honest with you, the way news breaks on all of this stuff, we don't actually know squat about what's happening or anything else.
Right.
I mean, as we sit here right now at 7:02 on this particular Sunday night, this whole thing could be resolved and we won't know it until tomorrow, or we get off of here and see a news flash. Who knows? We just don't know. We're going to talk about it, of course, because it does affect us in the here and now, but we're not going to do the Chicken Little stuff, and we're not going to turn this into a political commercial for one side or the other. We're just not going to do it. So, if you guys are good with that, stay tuned. If not, find a different channel. I mean, there's probably 9 trillion of them out there that will argue with you all day long, no matter what side you're on. So we're just not going to do it.
Shill for the plastic.
Yeah. So more pressing matters, according to news. According to the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, both John and Nancy will be AWOL tonight because of a night of heavy alcohol abuse, carousing, and fighting. Neither one of them will be available until serious fines and restitution. We're blank. Are we back?
Yeah.
Shane's deep in thought. Are we back on?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. I just blanked out. They probably walked all over my joke about John and Nancy, but
John rules the internet. He probably pulled that out just to
he probably did, yeah. He probably wait a minute. No, John's not feeling well, so get better, John. He had a busy week and he's got another one coming, and I think it was wise for him to just take some downtime and try to recuperate. So onward and upward. Cons. Let's get into the cons. We still got a few coming up here. Knocked Toylanta off the list. But here we are. FarleyCon is getting bigger all the time. Was it you, Shane, that sent that announcement here in the last 2 weeks? It was.
I've sent so much stuff I couldn't tell.
I know somebody said something. There was some new goings on, or a couple of new guests that were either about to be confirmed or had been confirmed at FarleyCon.
Oh, yeah, they're announcing them every day now.
Yeah, so I mean that.
I know there's some more Transformer guys going to be there.
They're going to need a bigger venue if they keep doing this. They got as many celebrities there as they do vendors, I think, at this point. So. That's cool. That's very cool.
But right when if you're a G.I. Joe guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the price to get into FarleyCon this year?
I think it was $20, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think something. Yeah, I think so. $15 to $20. It still wasn't as bad as some.
Right. Same thing it was last year, if I do believe.
Yeah. So Chattanooga's a ride, but it's not Augusta. That's for sure. So, so that's a good thing. And of course, there's plenty of hotels and whatnot over there on that east side of Chattanooga. So that shouldn't be a problem if you want to make multiple days out of it, or just don't want to travel one long day. So yeah, August 2nd and 3rd at Camp Jordan Arena in Chattanooga. So there's that one. What's next on the hot list? Gadsden Collecticon. The week before, I'm not going to do the if you can only make one thing, let's just make both.
Yeah.
Right?
Do them both.
Yep. July 26th. It's one day only. Again, VIP 10, general admission 5. They got the whole building, correct?
The whole building, yes, sir.
The whole building. So If you can't find something there for you, you're probably going to the wrong convention because
Exactly.
there's got to be something there for you. If not just hanging around with a bunch of like-minded people, which wouldn't be a bad thing.
Right.
You don't need to spend any more money than the admission if you don't want to. Just come and hang out and meet some new people, see some stuff, make a wish list. It's always worth the trip for that.
Exactly.
And you get to support local guys, so that's a good thing. That's always a good thing when you can. And for whatever it's going to cost you travel time and gas to get there with a general admission of $5, even if you want to pop for the VIP at 10. I mean, it's a good day. So think about that one too. I realize that would be a busy couple of weeks, but if you can,
it'd be a fun couple of weeks though.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
It definitely would.
Yeah, break up the monotony of summer because everybody knows how boring summertime is. So
yeah. Exactly.
Right. So
and we've been to both of these and they're always great.
Yeah.
Well, I know last year it was half the building and it was rocking last year when we was there.
Oh, it was a quarter of the building when you went last year.
Was it a quarter? Was it a quarter? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was still rocking.
I'm sure I'm also going to be selling stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, you'll be selling something. Emmett already learned a lesson. I told him that within a matter of minutes of him being at a show selling stands, somebody was going to steal that idea. And sure enough,
I looked at online. Someone has the exact file, but it is slightly changed.
Yeah.
It is the same exact logo, same exact design, other than reinforced stand.
Yeah, the color is the same. Everything. It's
reinforced. That's the only difference.
Yeah. So he'll have some stuff there, but
it might be a little different.
It might be a lot different. We'll see.
You can never let your secrets out, man.
No, and that's the thing. Anytime that you come up with a good idea and try to sell it, I told him somebody is going to rip you off because that's how this is how it works.
At
that's
this
the
point,
society we live in.
Toys.
So we'll see.
Custom made toys. I don't know.
We'll see. Don't give everything away.
Matter of fact, I think Bobby Valor wrote a book on it.
Probably so.
Yes. So, but that's the way it is. We will have a table here. He and I will have a table there.
No, me and you.
There you go. If I paid for it, it's me and you.
Not me and you, me and you.
That's right. It's he and I.
No, me and you.
Nancy, go tend to your husband. He's terribly ill.
Or just give him some more NyQuil and come back to the show.
There you go. Okay, what do we got now? What's on the next on the must-to-do list?
This weekend.
Huntsville.
Next weekend. Next weekend.
This is the one where William Shatner is supposed to be there, right?
Yes. If you don't cancel.
And that's difficult to say because he made a comment. We probably talked about this last time. He made a comment in a recent interview about his concerns about not having a lot of time left. He's the same age, give or take, as my father, and so he's 94 and will be 95, I guess, on his next birthday. So that would be, even living the easy Hollywood life like he has, 94 years old is still very old. So we'll see. So the admission on this one was reasonable. This is not the $40 at the door.
No, this one, they're pretty expensive, I believe.
Are they? Oh, is this the one?
Yeah.
Well,
I think they're $40.
Okay. So, plan accordingly. You got a couple of weeks, right?
But it's at the Von Braun Civic Center and it's massive.
Interesting.
I've never been to this one, but I know all about it. So it's the building is massive where they're going to be at.
So yeah, Nancy, you're really going to have to get John on the mend if he's going to make it up there for that, because that's just a couple of weeks away.
Are you going?
No, I think that is the weekend I'm doing something else.
I will not be there that weekend either.
No.
I won't fight the traffic up there.
I will be at the Cornbread Festival.
Nice. I may be over in Georgia doing something different. So
something different.
Not sure. But anyways. There is that one. Rocket City. Oh, this is the one that's inexpensive. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
this
one
is the inexpensive one. The last one is the expensive one, so plan accordingly. September 13th, 14th, Rocket City. I've heard some good things about this show. Never been.
I've been to this one several. I think I missed last year, but I've been to the rest of them, and they're always good.
Well, this one right here is a little bit easier to get into in Von Bon Civic Center.
Yeah, this one's a lot easier. It's at the JC's building, and it's small where they have it at. It's small, but they've got it spread out really nicely. So I mean, it's a good one to go to. Several of our guys will also be there too, and there'll be a bunch at the other one also, the pop culture one. But
So at this point in time, we have cons in, well, counting Joe Fest in June, correct? We got June, July, August, now September.
The August, July, April, September.
So
and
and there it is, Joe Fest, June. So May seems to be vacant, but the way these pre-orders are apt to come crashing down on us, for those of us that have them, the timing on some of this may not be great. Well, you know what? These were scheduled long before Hasbro's woes on distribution, so and or manufacturing, whichever it is. So maybe we all should spend the month of May making as much money as we can, because we're about to drop a bunch of it over 4 months.
I'm sure there's something in May.
That's why I'm just trying to hold. Yeah.
So yeah, right.
And then we got all the Hasbro and the CDC and all our SDCC and all that coming up too. So
yeah, Yojo June, Comic-Con in July.
I'm living off ramen noodles, trying to save all my money up for the big dump.
Ain't a thing wrong with ramen noodles. I've lived off of them my whole life.
It's I tell you, well, we'll talk about that later. Watch your be mindful of your pre-orders. Like I said, we'll get into that later. I'm not going to stray too far from topic at this point in time. But yeah, I mean, you know, whatever you want to do, one or all, you can be very, very busy from here on out.
Yes, sir.
And then there is another big show in Atlanta in October, correct? So
yeah, Joe Lanta,
yeah. So
I thought I had that one on here, but I don't guess I do.
So no, that's good. That's good.
We'll have it next one.
That's the last one, anyways, right, Shay?
Yeah, this is a good one too.
Oh yeah, Joe Fest is a blast. Joe Fest is a great. I mean, it's all Joe. I mean, it's just great.
Well, there were a couple things.
But I have to tell you, with if you're after guests, Joe related guests, I think FileyCon is as good as Joe Fest this year, if not maybe a little better. I'm not sure. I'm
thinking better.
If you're looking for vendors, if you're looking to spend a lot of money, Joe Fest is probably better.
And I do believe this is going to be the last year it's going to be in Augusta.
That is what they're moving. The word is that they are bringing it back further west into the Atlanta area. That's what I've been hearing also. So who knows? So yeah.
You shouldn't be leaving wads of money on the counter. Someone's gonna take that.
Ooh.
Hey.
I'll know where it went then.
There's like 1450s and 28.
Okay, would you be quiet? Good Lord, that boy.
Oh man.
So now you know what will be for sale at the table and him. What's going on, Mason? Yes, exactly. Good night, Emmett. Good Lord, that boy.
Brown sugar.
Yeah, that's enough brown sugar, please. You don't need any brown sugar. You're going to disappear here in a minute.
Brown sugar.
Well, it tastes so good. I hear you, buddy.
Anyways. let's get into it. Let's go. We're gonna do DC next. McFarlane is on a product dump crusade, I guess is the best way to putting it. I mean, week after week after week, there are just pre-orders dropping left and right, and a ton of exclusives, animated series stuff, movie stuff, multiverse stuff, digital stuff, store exclusives, more Spawn stuff. If you're into Spawn, he's just dumping figures at this point in time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have speculated that's because he lost the DC license. I really don't think that's it. I really don't. He still has that license for over a year. So I don't think that's what's happening. I have my own ideas on what might be happening, but I don't think it has anything to do with the losing the DC license, because if that was the case, he wouldn't be dropping everything else at the speed that he's dropping.
Exactly.
My suspicion is, and I guess I can say it. My guess is Mr. McFarlane doesn't have any faith anymore in the comic book IPs. He's Skybound, the publisher in chief at Skybound, I think it is, or CEO, one or the other. He knows more about the market than any of us does. He knows more about the IP than any of us does. He knows more about the IP than most of the toy executives know about the IP.
Mm-hmm.
This is certainly not tariff related either, because these toys were in the production line a long time ago. Yeah. So I suspect Mr. McFarlane has a suspicion about what's going on, and I think he's getting less and less confident in the market, and this is a cash out.
We've talked about that, and
that's my guess. Just the sheer number. He's dropped 6 figures in the last 2 weeks, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more going up over 2 days this week.
Yeah, that's not even counting the superpowers figures he's been releasing either.
Right.
No,
it's just the 70.
I heard a rumor that John Maddox stole a whole 18-wheeler full of Supergirls. I'm just saying.
Maybe he's still out there in Arizona trying to figure out how to drive that truck back without being seen. I don't know. Let's go.
It's even the point. I want him in the year one Batman too. He's coming to Walmart.
He looks pretty good.
Walmart exclusives, both year one Jimmy here and year one Batman. On these, you guys I'm going to strongly suggest that you double check these dates, because this was as of a few minutes ago, but I've seen contradicting dates between the 15th and the 16th for all of these figures. So as it stands right now, Toy News International is saying Jim Gordon, year one Jim Gordon, and year one Batman are Walmart exclusives. That's the consistent. And those two go up on the 16th, no time given. So it's usually Walmart for our time are usually popping up at 11 a.m. So this Jim Gordon right here, this sucker is going to sell so fast, it's going to be scary.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can only push that button quick enough to get one or the other of them in your cart, make sure it's Jim Gordon, because he's gonna evaporate.
Do you have the picture of the variant?
What's that?
Do you have the picture of the variant? The variant comes with a black coat, black trench coat.
Oh, I have not seen a platinum variant.
No.
Mm-mm.
I haven't
either
seen
or. I'd be happy with either or though.
Yeah, I haven't seen a picture. Like I said, the news on these was dropped way too fast. I haven't seen the variants on this one.
Right.
He's a really good figure.
I'm perfectly content with the tan. I was hoping that the platinum would have gray hair. That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, it would.
Because then just to change the trench coat, if they'd have painted the hair gray and the mustache gray, that would be a great Jim Gordon.
Exactly.
So
which I'm happy with this one.
Well, yeah, I mean it's rebirth. It's rebirth Jim Gordon. We got Rookie and we got him in the bat suit. So why not, this variant of Jim Gordon? But it's going to sell out.
And I know what people are going to say. It's all Constantine reuse. I don't care. I don't
care. It's not like a bunch of Constantines were sold. That figure came and went. I mean,
Exactly.
he magically disappeared because it was a page puncher, and there wasn't a whole lot of those. So it's not like many people even remember.
There's still a ton of them at Walmart. Anybody watching? Mine and Shane's work. There's still a ton of them.
Yep, and we've had this discussion before, and having made the rounds again in the last week and a half, and going to a Walmart yesterday that I had not been to for a very long time, other than just a handful of slots in the electronics, all of the McFarlane pegs are gone. So unless you got a good friend at GameStop and have a lot of confidence in them, because guess what? They're closing more stores. That announced today.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might want to start pre-ordering stuff, because I'm telling you, I don't think the big boxes are going to carry much of this stuff anymore, if at all.
Well, funny you should mention that. Ross's is shutting down.
What's that?
Ross is shutting down. All of them.
All of them? They're going bankrupt?
All of them. All
I
of
didn't
them.
hear that one. See, it's just, stuff's crazy, man. I'm telling you, things are moving so fast that, anyways, speaking of moving fast, I'll say it again. If you want a Jim Gordon, don't sit on your thumbs on this one. You better get it.
Yeah, it's going to go.
It's going to go.
All the Batman fans are going to want that.
So next, let's see what we got next. This is from Superman Return, Death of Superman storyline. Hal Jordan in armor, Coast City armor, basically. If you remember that story or have never read it, you know what this is about. Hal is the 15th at 11 hour time, and this is like a select retailers. So it's going to be Amazon, it's going to be Entertainment Earth, it's going to be Big Bad, and it's going to be McFarlane. That's my guess. That's usually what select retailers means.
Right.
May or may not show up at Walmart and Target later. At this point in time,
might sneak in there.
probably not. So
Probably not.
So, cool figure. If you're doing the whole Return to Superman thing, this is definitely worth it.
Yeah.
So, Eradicator, again, Return to Superman, Death of Superman storyline. This Eradicator is much more comic accurate than the one we got before with the black skin.
Yep.
Right.
He is the 15th, select retailers, 11 a.m. our time. So if you have got one of the good Superboys from 2 or 3 waves ago, you've managed to get a steal from last year, you get a new Eradicator. The new Cyborg Superman is actually excellent. Hank Henshaw all the way. It is comic accurate. Fantastic. So if you want the figures from that storyline, you might want to jump on this one too, because I suspect he's going to be hot. I'm not sure on Hal yet, but I think this Eradicator is going to sell quickly. So,
Dave, you just answered one of my questions. We're going to get another decent Cyborg Superman. I guess you just answered my question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We showed him last week.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Seen pictures of it. He will probably go up. He'll probably be announced for pre-order at the end of this coming week for the following week after Easter at the rate that they're moving.
Yeah, because they're moving quickly.
They are moving very quickly. At this point in time, we're getting 5 or 6 figures a week.
Easily.
Yep. Batman versus Superman, Alfred, Jeremy Irons, Alfred. There's one for you, Adam.
Yeah.
He is the 16th, and some say this is Walmart exclusive. Others don't say that specifically. So you know what? You got a few days yet. Double check. Don't get caught flat-footed, because I'm telling you, this figure is going to sell out fast too.
Yes, it will.
Just double check if it's Walmart or not. I get conflicted. There was conflicted stuff all over the place. So double check.
This is going to be hot just for the tools.
Mm-hmm.
People going to want that for everything.
Yep, I agree. With all the Batmobiles, especially. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm guessing we've still got at least 3 Batmobiles that are going to show up before McFarlane hangs this up. And we already know what one of them is.
We need more Alfreds.
So,
And we
boy,
can,
wouldn't I love
I can just bet you and guarantee you that we're going to see a lot of Val Kilmer stuff pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
We need more Alfreds.
Yes, there was a whole movie wave that was kind of on the line, and now is the cancellation line, not the production line. It was on the now that his rumor is it's been moved off of the cancellation line and into production. So
I guarantee
you're right.
I know that big movie, whatever pack has got him in it, and all the other movie Batmans with the bat signal. I know on the secondary market it's shot up almost double.
Oh yeah.
So
we need more Alfreds.
We'll see.
I have to agree with you. I want a Michael Caine Alfred.
If this, I know, Cowboy Batman. It was actually a very good story in Batman Superman. It actually was a very good story. That's where this is from. Word is the 15th. Select retailers again at 11 a.m. our time here in Central Time Zone.
I don't think you'll have to worry about being in a hurry to get that one.
I don't.
I thought that was going to be Amazon.
See, double check, because there's
because I want that.
They're just not. The information coming out on this is pretty convoluted. Here's my opinion of this figure. If at some point in time they don't release the Superman to go along with this, the Cowboy Superman, this sucker dies on the vine. No one will ever buy this. If they announce the Superman, this sucker is going to be hot, like on fire hot.
Yep.
And if they wait and announce him later after this is no longer readily available, this sucker will shoot up in price like crazy because people will get the new Superman and then they're going to want the Batman to go with it. It's exactly like the Kingdom Come Superman that's coming out. We got the Batman last year, and he was good enough to stand alone. But now that Superman's coming out, that Batman's going to shoot way up in price. You watch.
Did you get that Batman?
Dave, I'm telling you right now, it's Batman, it's Cowboy, it screams by me, Fat Boy. So I'm in.
There you go. There you go. It was actually a very good story. It was only 2 or 3 issues long, but it was actually a great story. Some of the best comics from DC over the last 5 years have been the Batman Superman titles, honestly. Some of the best stuff they've done in a long time were in those books. So far that DC Sonic the Hedgehog book isn't that bad. Surprisingly, it's actually not horrible. So yeah, wait till Jonah Hex goes on clearance. You got a 7-inch horse.
Yep.
Right.
Because it looks like it's headed that way.
Yeah, it was.
I'm waiting on Jonah Hex on clearance.
If you do get him, you'd probably want to get Jonah Hex.
Well, Jonah Hex was part of that story, so you got to give McFarlane credit. He's really bringing a lot of these lines and sub stories back full circle, slowly but surely. He's getting back around to stuff. You have to appreciate the fact that the man actually does know the IP. He's just not throwing stuff out. I do think that I'm still not convinced he was all that heavily in the game to keep the DC license. But I just don't know. He would never say, of course, but I tell you what, he putting out a lot of figures. So, and I think and I'm sorry, guys, I did not get into all of the superpower stuff. There's an Etrigan coming out. There's a bunch of different animated figures in the 6-inch scale. There's more superpowers coming. Like I said, the Spawn stuff. It's
well, to be honest, I don't think this channel ever gets into the Spawn stuff.
Well, we don't, because I don't think we really have a lot of Spawn collectors. So that I think that's.
I got a few, but that's about it. So
yeah, I think that's it. Oh, there is one other Batman that is the Cowardly Lot. This is the year 1 Batman. This is on the 16th Walmart exclusive to go with that Jim Gordon.
Yeah, I want him too.
And then there is another one that is Cowardly Lot Batman that is a GameStop exclusive, and as of this afternoon was still up for pre-order. So
what impressed me about this Batman is the tooling and the shading around the utility belt.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice figure. It's got a real dry wash on the yellows. It's actually pretty good. So yeah. So that is it for the DC stuff. So 15th, 16th, go check your dates, check your times. That's the best I can do for you. Like I said, I was looking at it over the last 24 hours, and I got there were dates and stuff, and I swear a few of them changed this afternoon. Either that, or I'm just more tired than I thought. One or the other. I couldn't, check your dates, check your times.
Right.
So, the next one. This is probably gonna get us going. So no, we're not. We're not talking Funko Pops. Did you buy a bunch of pops, Shane?
I did.
Oh, there you go. We can talk about pops.
Some Smurfs. We can save that for later, though.
Yeah. Okay, so Maximum Hulk. I like this figure very much. I don't do Marvel stuff, but I went ahead and ordered one. I ordered one from Pulse. Still not sold out. Sadly, I think there are two topics that are kind of running this figure over. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's this. My opinion of this figure with the soft rubber torso, the way it flexes, and everything else is pretty inventive. 3 heads, the smack effect, a Hulk that can finally do the thunderclap, It's getting run over by 2 separate topics, one of which is
I like that one.
One of which is the price of the Maximum Spider-Man, which at $50, I have to tell you, for $10 more, this Hulk, in my opinion, makes that Spider-Man even less of a value.
Yep.
It just does. It makes the Spider-Man look a lot worse, money-wise. It's a great figure, don't get me wrong, but money-wise, this Hulk makes that Spider-Man look kind of bad.
Yes, it does.
But that leads us into the second discussion, which...
What's with the missile he comes with?
He gets to catch it, throw it, tear it in half.
And break it in half. I just don't... I don't like any of the heads that come with it.
They're all important, but they're not great.
Yeah.
There should have been a good neutral Hulk head.
Exactly.
There just
the heads on it right now, probably is the best one, in my opinion, of all of them.
The which one?
The ones on it right now.
That haircut, though, is driving everybody nuts.
Exactly. That's I just can't. Yeah.
The face
my problem is there's a lot of reuse between that one and this one.
Yeah. Well, of course there is.
You guys, you got the toe and you got the rubber part. That's the only difference. And the rubber part disintegrating over time, that's the only thing that's killing this figure for me.
And hopefully it doesn't. That's one of those things. We're just not going to know until the time goes by.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hate to say this, in 10 years' time, if we go, oh, man, I wish I never spent that $60, it's probably not real likely. Because let's face it, these things are not going to accumulate the value that the older stuff has.
Right.
So
I like the idea of it.
It does.
Yeah.
But like we were talking earlier about the Jurassic Park stuff, we seen what that happened with them.
Yep. And it was Hasbro that did that too. So
I understand the arms are pinless, knees are not.
You got someday we'll have to have this whole pinless discussion, because I have to be perfectly honest with you, I couldn't care less. These are action figures. it doesn't matter. To me, it makes no difference if they have pins or not. It's still obvious that they're action figures. These are not posable statues. I that's just me, I guess. If they ever came to life and started complaining about it, I guess I'd care. But other than that, I don't.
Here's the deal. Here's me, and I quit Marvel. Here's the deal with me on this. I was 100% against a $50 Spider-Man.
I think everybody should be.
I'm on the fence for this one.
I jumped.
I got a hook. I'm on the fence for this one.
I've wanted a good Hulk without having to hunt down that Diamond Select one from 10 years ago.
Like I said, the only reason I'm on the fence, if I didn't have this one, I'd be 100% in it.
Sure, yeah.
Now all you have to do is find a good head.
Now, here we go. Second issue is this. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. At this point, this Chicken Little crap that's being played with prices with these tariffs. The prices on this figure are all over the place. And
I can shed some light on that. Hasbro has their own distribution network out of China. Places like Big Bad Toy Store, places like this, they don't know because they as soon as it releases, it's shipped. So they really don't know. So they're all over the prices, and I think Big Bad Toy Stores even is guys the price up, but they also got a disclaimer it could go up even more on pre-orders. So I can see these little smaller deals on like Big Bad Toy Store stuff doing that over Hasbro. I can see that. Bobby Valor, he had a video out. He was discussing. He's already paid his distributor for 2025, so he won't go up on any prices. He's already paid the shipping fees already.
Here's the thing. If Big Bad specifically hadn't sent out the email that he sent out, making a political issue out of this, I'd have a little more patience with it. But I want you to pay attention right there. Do you see that right there? Excludes tariff surcharge. He has absolutely no idea if there's even going to be a tariff surcharge.
Right. Well,
Exactly.
if you scroll down, I think, and maybe on that or another page I was reading on their website, it could go up or it could go back down, recording on how things go. They figure that right.
You know what, Corey? I don't believe for 1 second any of it's ever going to go back down. The fact of the matter is this is one of these deals where he specifically, this Joel, I can't remember his last name. I'm sorry, but he did. If you got the email, if you're one of his customers, he made this a political issue. And he set out to pick off his customers to get them on his side of a political issue. That's what this was about. This is Chicken Little crap, pure and simple. I have 2 very expensive 3D printers on order from Anycubic. They've been on order since the 21st and the 22nd of May. I was in a panic this past week, March, trying to figure out if these tariffs are going to affect that. Anycubic sent me an email saying, no, the agreed upon price is the agreed upon price. And those were pre-orders, which means
that's how it should be.
That's how it's done. You don't look at your customer and go, hey, you know what? This dirtbag president of ours is going to cost you 150 points. Nope. We entered in an agreement when we pre-order this stuff. You don't get to change the price later. It does not work that way.
That's pretty much what Bobby Valor said too, and all his pre-orders and stuff coming up. He's already paid for it.
You know what? Us guys had a discussion on the side this past week about Hasbro's options with pre-orders that have existed since last fall. Now, if Hasbro's going to get hosed on those pre-orders, they have option 1. They can eat it, right? And if they're smart, they'll eat it, period, because that was an agreed upon price. Yep. Or they can give us the option of canceling their orders when they tell us how much more it's going to cost. Or they can just try to charge us more. Those are Hasbro's three options.
Yep.
Well,
These other companies don't have any different options.
Nope.
well, I've heard Hasbro's been whining about money they're not making this year, and they've actually have halted the move to Boston.
Well, yeah, they said that they're going to make their decision in the summer, but Hasbro
does nothing wrong. Just saying.
Well, this is the thing, guys. Please don't cut the table.
I'm not cutting the table.
We don't have any idea what is actually going to cost and what's not. We just don't. Entertainment Earth, they just jacked it up by $20. Now, let's say these tariffs disappear tomorrow. Is EE going to drop that price down to $59 for everybody that pre-ordered it from them? No. That's like gas pricing. Gas prices drop. Do you think the gas station's going to drop the price of gas before it's all sold?
Well,
no.
And some of the things I've seen, there's certain electronics coming out of China. They're not even going to tariff.
I don't even want to go there. That, you know what? I can't go.
I mean, what I'm saying, this might fall under that. Who knows? We don't know.
We don't know. But as far as going into that, I don't even want to go into that because I talked to these guys about that earlier. That set me off this morning because.
Well, I'm saying maybe what you ordered, the printers may fall under that too. I don't know.
We don't know. Thank you, Corey. The fact of the matter is we don't know, and neither do they. And if they're trying to hedge their bets on our dollar, that's crap customer service, right? They have an opportunity to look out for us and go, hey, you know what? No matter what the political climate is, a deal is a deal.
Well, it's like this. It's like I run a gas station. I got my gas yesterday.
Yep.
Gas is going up tomorrow, but I'm going to charge you tomorrow's prices today. That ain't how you do business. That ain't how that works.
Not how you do it.
That's exactly what this crap right here is.
Right.
Well, guys, and I'm not taking the political side, but you remember when I think maybe Obama, maybe Bush, can't remember which one. You remember when all of a sudden the market dropped out from under the gas and everything went crazy because they were speculating oil prices.
Yeah. Speculation. That's
same
all
thing.
it is.
Same thing with plastic. That's all it is. Same thing with plastic.
Well, and like I said, this is. At this point in time, I'm telling you, some of these companies are taking advantage of this situation to try to pad their numbers because sales are down. And the fact of the matter is, in the hobby, sales are down. They're way down. I just don't. So
the heck?
It's not great what's happening right now. If they're not very careful, they're going to do more damage to the hobby than tariffs or politicians or all of this other stuff.
But then again, on the other hand, I can see some of these smaller groups that don't have their own distributor. That basically orders it as soon as it's available to be ordered. I can see the point. Why they got to do that?
Like I said, when they show up on the docks and customs is over there telling them exactly what their duty or their tariff is going to be, then you let your customers know if you're going to try to negotiate the deal you already made or you're going to stay with the deal that you already made, because a pre-order is a deal. There's no flux in there.
Yeah, right. And I've already heard the Entertainment Earth claims when it's released, if it's the lower price, they will drop theirs down to the lower price. But they're the only ones that said that, though.
Well, sure. Because at this point in time, Hasbro is playing a game with its shareholders. They don't want to send out an alarmist email letting everybody know that those pre-orders, they may have to be basically begging us to pay more for that stuff.
Exactly.
And that may be exactly what it is, or they just may threaten to cancel our orders if we don't agree. Which, you know what, that's their prerogative. At least, it's money not spent. But don't tell me something's going to cost 145% more than it did when we agreed to it. Your production problems are your production problems. It is certainly not my fault that you can't get a dial tone to us in the last 6 months.
Exactly.
Or any of the other figures that we're waiting for. Let's face it, we're still waiting. Some of the release dates on these figures are still months away.
Yep.
I've heard two things about the dog time. I heard it's the deal with them moving the plant. I also heard there's something going on with the plastic with the backpack.
No idea.
There's no real explanation yet. But I have seen where people are getting them in Canada, though.
Yeah. I seen somebody on one of the Joe groups got one in GameStop, New Jersey.
Well, we did that with Tomax and Zaymont, remember? Tomax and Zaymont showed up at a GameStop in New Jersey. Now, you can say whatever you want to about that. Maybe it's the same guy that's just getting the drop on everybody. He's getting him from his backdoor buddy in the friggin' Philippines. It's,
Yeah.
Because that used to happen a lot with John. If John was here, he'd tell you that used to happen a lot with Mattel with the DC Universe figures.
Mm-hmm.
They were literally getting them out of the distribution centers in Southeast Asia. Yep. They were stealing them off the platforms and selling them on eBay, and guys had them months in advance. And of course, that was back before social media was a big deal. But that may be what's going on too. Somebody's got a friend in the Philippines.
I think that's what's happening right now with the trench viper and the modular thing.
Yeah, probably.
Some YouTubers is showing up with them.
Yeah,
well,
it's crazy right now, man.
I don't mean to get so wound up, but the fact of the matter is this whole situation is ripe for ripoffs. They're going to try. There are companies and people out there that are going to try to leverage this against us. I mean, seriously, that's what this is. They're going to try to make more money off of us.
Of course.
And I'm sorry, at this point in time, 99% of this is Chicken Little stuff. We could wake up tomorrow morning and the whole deal is off, right? It's fixed. Never mind. Nothing to see here. If you got stuck paying tariffs that were absorbent in the last 5 days, the IRS is going to give you a big fat tax credit. I no idea. Like I said, like Corey said, we woke up this morning and to a nice, lengthy, long list of all of these electronics that are not subject to this, which is complete and total BS, if you ask me.
Right. G.I. Joe might find a way to the list. Who knows?
Well, you know what? Throw a battery in a G.I. Joe figure, and now it's a laptop, or it's a right, it's a smartphone, so we don't have to pay tariffs on. How's that?
Right.
So I knew the Hulk would stir it up. We had to talk about the tariff stuff. We have. I don't know as I really want to talk about it anymore because it's ticking me off. I have my own opinions about it, and they are very political, and I will keep them to myself.
Exactly.
Right. But the potential for us getting ripped off is very, very, very high right now. And it's looking like some people are leveraging. Well, the truth is they're leveraging us against each other.
Yeah.
And I also know people in this group and other groups are talking about, I'm just going to sell my collection. Don't get upset. Hold on to your stuff.
Yeah.
Things can change in a blink of an eye.
I've been listening to that. I'm going to sell my collection crap for 30 years.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, around at about the same time that people realized their collections were worth money, which was about 30 or 35 years ago. Something, oh no, DC Comics did something I didn't like in Superman. I'm going to sell my comics. And yeah. Well, if that was happening, none of it would be worth anything because the market would have been dumped on 3 decades ago. Right. Yeah. I mean,
selling your collection is like taking stuff off your shelf that you've already bought and not letting people buy.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I got a version 4 Snake Eyes and a new Hulk figure to show off to later on.
There. So there, my friends, is your tariff discussion for this show. And I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's just going to go south.
Exactly.
So we're just not going to do it. So let's go to... Guess what? More pre-orders.
Yeah.
Pre-orders, right? Tuesday. This is the norm for Joe. Pre-orders. We are finally getting the claw that we have been waiting for since last fall, believe it or not, guys.
Well, say, I know Emily and I'm a shield, so I already got my version 4 Snake Eyes ready to go.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Who cares about that claw? Everyone wants to talk about that version 4 Snake Eyes.
No, they don't.
Everyone does.
Everybody is foolish.
Everybody wants that right there. That's exactly what everybody wants right there. He's got it on the screen as we speak.
We talked about that. I have to apologize to everybody because if you don't know, I know absolutely nothing about the Deke, and I'm pronouncing it the correct way for a family-friendly internet show. I know nothing about the Deke cartoon timeline, right? Rick was kind enough to turn me on to Operation Dragonfire, which was the immediate sequel to the movie, which was kind of interesting. Apparently, this iguana, this lizard, is Serpentor.
Apparently so.
Really? Really? I did not know that.
Yes. And it had something to do with the Deke cartoon. What? I do not know. Am I going to seek out that information by watching 14 or 15 hours of that? No. I will sit here and wait for somebody in the comments to tell me what the deal is and save me the trouble because I'm just not going to do it.
Here's my deal with this Cobra Commander. When I was little with the 3 3/4, I was an impatient little fart and I wouldn't melt away from my Cobra Commander. So this is my first Cobra Commander.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. The variant head with the Snake Eyes is no connection, no relation.
Nope.
With the reptile eyes, how's that? Is actually pretty cool.
Wow.
Can't really see them that good, but
hey, guess what, Bub?
No, that picture didn't do it.
Guess what?
Did it. What do you want?
That.
Well, save your money because I ain't buying 2.
Are you buying 2? You buying 3?
Nope.
You buying 3?
This
You buying
the best. This is the best one of the line.
Yeah, that's some kind of. What's the controversy with the belt loop? The belt loop on the left. It's supposed to be painted blue, and it's not. I don't. People are having some kind of heart attack over that.
This is a digital render, man. Come on.
I just don't. I don't.
I'm not heard about it. Educate me. I've been out of the loop for a while. What's up with the belt loop? I ain't heard nothing about it.
The belt loop on the left.
Yes.
The one on the right is painted blue, as in it's denim. It's a belt loop on a set of jeans. The one on the left is silver, like the chains that are attached to it. It's not blue. So people are having mini conniption / stroke / massive coronaries over the fact that a belt loop isn't painted blue on a digital render.
So, do they know it's a digital render?
That's a digital render. It says right on the bottom of it, digital render.
Does the people that are having meltdowns, do they know it's a digital render?
I don't know. You're assuming they can read or even want to bother to.
Well, they obviously can't read because it says final product may vary.
It may have a painted
render.
I just don't. I don't.
From what it sounds like, people are having a heart attack over the stupidest stuff.
Well,
it is, man. It's so dumb.
We're stuck in the complain loop so hard that we can't even get up out of it. Now we're going to complain about an unpainted belt loop. I just don't.
Well, I heard somebody complain about Commissioner Gordon's at Batman. From the year 1, part of his town was in the pictures are white. It's called take some paint and take care of it. And if the belt loop shows up like this, I'll take some paint and take care of it.
Yeah, I just find it silly.
Hey, read.
But it's a great, I saw it. Thank you, Mason. I knew he'd come up and tell me what the deal was. That's his generation of stuff. And I'm sincerely thank you for that. I like I said, I watched. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know if I made it through the whole thing of that Dragonfire, but I got the gist of it. But apparently, if it happened in that storyline, that's why I missed that. But
well, I gotta have this guy outside the nightclub with my Cole Slithers playing. So.
I am still. I have to say, I am still a hard pass on the Cold Slither set. I have.
I get 2.
Yeah, I got no interest in spending valuable shelf space on that one.
The only thing I don't like about this figure is that alternate head, hair, and mask.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, why would you need some kind of chemical mask?
And that would be chucked back in the junk pile for me. It's part of his tools, and there the two will be chucked back in the fodder pile. I
See,
would never
this
use that head on anything.
See, this is the weird thing. If we had more connections between these figures and the Skybound comic, and that mask was a thing in the comic, like it always used to be, right?
Mhm.
There was a connection. It would make sense, but some of this stuff that they're giving these figures is just, I think it's like the whole illusion of added value or something. Does that make any sense? Because it doesn't make any sense.
No, he was given a goofy head. What's the point?
Well, if there was a story behind it, it would make sense. But so far, there is not. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, like I see a modification for Road Pig's shield because they put the arm thing on backwards again. I don't even know where my shit is at. It's in the farther pile.
Hey, Anna. This is basically Cobra Island blood repainted, right? Which
Got a
Exactly.
little red on him.
for people that didn't, and a lot didn't get the Cobra Island Major Blood, at least you get a Major Blood now. I mean,
Mhm.
right, that's all I can say on this.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
Pass-
Right? It's not
pass me.
terrible.
Yeah, pass for me. I got him. I got the original when he come out. So
Yeah, so at least people will get a shot at a Major Blood.
Exactly.
So
I
that,
think
everyone
he'll be
was-
floating around.
Everybody was hoping for the retro version, but
well, they've
Maybe
said
next time.
retro carded at some point.
I thought he was going to be on a retro card.
I think that's
that
been
is not
heavily
retro
rumored.
carded.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No, that is
I thought
not
somebody said it
retro.
was. Okay. Okay.
No. It's been heavily rumored, but nothing confirmed as of yet. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to sound terrible. I will probably get this blood because I don't want to open my other one. That makes sense?
I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
opened it already.
No, I did not.
I like the color on it,
Yeah.
the red coloring. That looks good, but like we said, it's just a repaint.
It's a straight up repaint. Yep.
Yeah. I kind of got a gut feeling. I think we'll see him hanging around the discount aisle.
Nope. I don't believe
I
you're
don't
going to
think so
see
either.
any of these on store shelves. I'm making that prediction right now. I don't, other than GameStop's, I don't think you're going to see hardly any of these figures in the stores. I think Target's getting ready to drop them too, just like most 90% of the Walmarts have from what I'm looking at. I still think this IP, I think Mason's right. We've had this discussion privately because I still stand on Hasbro going direct to consumer, and G.I. Joe and Transformers are the only IPs they're going to keep. They're gonna farm out the rest of them, and it'll be direct to consumer.
I can definitely see that.
And I think the stores already know it, and they're just backing way off from it. Their exclusives are online only. Let's face it. I mean, Walmart and Target will still get exclusives, but
Dragon, I think it's 10 o'clock our time. If you are
it'll be one.
Yes,
Is that right?
unless you're Pulse, and then it's noon.
Yeah,
And it's noon. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good thing about Hasbro. That's a constant. They usually do their fan streams at 10. Pre-orders go up at noon for members, 1 for non-members.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I'm gonna pre-order is the Claw, and that's it. I always do the vehicles, and the exclusives, and that's all I ever do.
You know, I've been pre-ordering everything because I just don't get out as much as I used to. I don't get to the Walmarts as frequently. And now, especially now that the Walmarts don't carry Joe's anymore, I'm just pre-ordering everything. If I can always cancel them, right? I mean, so yeah, no DC Mutant, no nothing. I mean, they're rolling way back, and I very rarely go to GameStop. And again, like I said, apparently they announced over this weekend that more stores are closing. I have one, the Target in Trustville, that's even remotely close at this point in time. But let's face it, there's a lot of collector competition going in and out of that store. So I don't live 6 miles away from it anymore. So I'm not there anywhere near as much as I used to be. I don't even make it there once a week anymore. So I'm just pre-ordering stuff. My hunting is all about vintage stuff.
Yeah.
This one's for Mason, V4 Snake Eyes.
It's for you too.
Yeah, I'll be ordering it. I will.
You say you hate him.
I do, but I'll do things. I'll do despisable things to him on the shelf. I will tell you right now. This Emmett dug his out yesterday. The Amazon exclusive version 3 Storm Shadow that they did 4 years ago now. Now that this Snake Eyes is coming out, the price on that sucker is going to go right through the roof too, because now everybody's going to want that one to go with this Snake Eyes. It is already expensive. It can still go up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have this one too. So
good night, buddy. Yeah, I mean it's Snake Eyes. You're not going to not get it.
Yeah.
Right. I still would have preferred version 3 or version 5 over version 4, but we got what we got. So
it's coming.
Oh yeah, they all coming.
But I mean, for what he is, this is actually very well done.
Yeah,
it takes. They knocked the goofy right out of this one because
he looks very serious.
Yeah, they did a good job with this one.
I wonder if you can remove his goggles.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Like you can on the 12-inch one.
No, I doubt it.
They did change the color of his goggles though.
It's still red. What are you talking about?
No. Now it's darker red.
Go away.
No, it's not see-through. Like
it's a digital render.
It is digital red.
Maybe they missed a belt loop with the paintbrush.
Maybe it's digital red.
Okay, hey, go upstairs.
No.
Don't do that.
Good night, Emmett.
You go upstairs.
Good night, Emmett.
Night, Emmett.
These are all going up on the same day, so it's a quick and easy order. And here it is. What did they say? 12 inches? 12 inches wide?
12 inches wide, yeah.
When the wings are pulled out, it goes to 14, I think. Again, with the female driver / pilot, which is a decent way of introducing them to the line. I mean, honestly. But at this point in time, we're going to have as many females as we are males in the Cobra ranks.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 3 of them.
So, and I will predict that production numbers on these are way down. They are Pulse exclusives, and you probably had not to be sleeping on this one.
Nope,
not at all.
I see Ferret 2 written all over this one.
I'm gonna call it Ferret 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yep, there you go. So,
and from those that didn't get a Vamp. Word is there's going to be a reissue of the Vamp.
You think it'll be the tan one?
I don't know. The way
I hope so.
It was worded when they said revamp, and it's got to be. I feel it's going to be a reissue of the one.
They might
drop the ball on it also.
They might do a
You know what gets me? Emily said something kind of stuck in my head on the last one about the Cobra armor. That they lowered the price and they didn't put a figure with it. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if they done away with figures for stuff like that. Just give us that.
Yeah, for this right here also, yeah.
Yeah, they could have. I'm expecting this one to come in at the $75 point.
I think so too.
I think it's going to be the same price as the snake armor, but you get the $25 figure with it.
I'm gonna say it's probably same price as the Ferret.
You think they're going to go $100 on these?
Ferret was only like $59, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Ferret was $59.99.
Was it? I'm thinking,
yeah.
You're thinking the Stinger.
I bet these are at the $75 price point.
I think you're right.
I bet they are. $50 for the aircraft, $25 for the pilot.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
I think that's where they're going to go with that one.
It sounds like this money they could have done without the pilot. Just give us that for 50.
I agree because this is one of those ones that's going to be swapped and switched back and forth.
Yes.
Every different displays are going to have different, guys hanging out.
Some people are going to have Death Row on it. Some people are going to have Snake Eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking in on the Cobra Island,
Yes,
I like to have two of them with the twins.
Yeah,
I like to have two of them with the twins.
Well, nothing's stopping you from ordering as many as you want to, other than Hasbro and availability. So.
Shelf space. Shelf space is stopping me too.
I didn't say taking delivery of them. I said ordering them.
Right.
Yeah. I am at the point with these right here where I'm just kind of in the habit of ordering as many of them as I can. And then when our side discussions pop up and everybody goes, I missed or whatever, I can say, hey, or I can say sorry, or I can go in and cancel orders later if I need to, if everybody else is set. But
that's why I've done crystal ball. So
some of us lose track of time while working and miss a lot of stuff.
Yep. I don't sell them for 1 penny more than I pay for them. As a matter of fact, some of the guys sitting here could attest to the fact that they've been given things. If I'm a scalper, I'm an absolutely horrible one.
He's terrible at it, man. He's very terrible at it.
Oh, jeez. I'm like the anti-scalper. I give this crap away half the time.
He's a terrible scalper.
But yeah, I'll probably get 2 or 3 of them and probably won't keep one of them.
I know you are, Adam. I was just kidding. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these guys covered because there's guys that get stuck in meetings. There's guys that get stuck on job sites.
Top of a ladder.
Yeah. I mean, there's been times where I was stuck in the gun vault and I don't get great signal in the gun vault.
Yeah, I think so. 5 times maybe you say get no signal.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to keep each other covered, and that's the point.
Exactly.
So,
and with me, there's no telling where I'll be if there's signal at all.
Right.
And sometimes Walmart sends you a whole case of shivers and you slinging them out each pant leg. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. So
Tuesday
at
the live stream starts at 10.
Is there a live stream?
I think so.
I'm not sure if there's a live stream.
I thought there was supposed to be.
So we're going to get more reveals, or they're just going to tell us more about what we're pre-ordering?
From what I heard, from my understanding is there was going to be one.
Okay. Oh, cool. So
I understand one reveal and like 3 more digital renders and a name drop.
Okay. Well,
you never know with them, though.
No, you don't. No, you don't. We're going to find out.
Hey, Bob.
They are absolutely horrible at publicizing anything G.I. Joe, though. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. You know about 6 months in advance for Star Wars or Marvel Legends or anything else, but Joe's, there's always a rumored date, and they don't bother telling you if it's true or not. So that's that. Where's the plug to this computer?
It's right here, but we're having it.
I'm having it right now. Thank you.
Besides, I've already got the Ultimate Hulk figure.
Oh, geez. No. The other one.
This is my 14th Hulk.
Shane?
Somebody's obsessed.
What's bad? Target's fixing to come out with an Ultimate. He's going to be 15th.
Shane.
Just ignore him. It'll be all right.
Shane.
Sort of like catching a rat. I see one. I got Bob.
How do I send a photo to you?
Who, me?
Yes, to you.
You don't.
You get your phone out and you send it to me.
Well, I have his phone, and I'm trying to send you something so that you can put it on the show. Because I need people to know that I'm looking for this.
What are you looking for, Emmett?
I've been looking for this for a while.
I can tell you where he's headed. I don't know what he's looking for.
Well, take a picture of it, shove the phone in front of Dad's face so where I can see it.
Maybe somebody has one of these things. maybe not.
There's something old. My girlfriend's sister has a thrift store. I go up there and look around. They get stuck in it all the time.
I'm pretty
You know
sure
what,
it came out
Adam?
in 2007.
Congratulations on your, I mean, seriously, a tremendous success at your first major toy show. I couldn't have been happier for you.
Wait, what did Adam do?
Sold everything. He sold everything but his molars, I think.
What?
He did a
now looks funny
fantastic
'cause
job.
He has no teeth.
And he did a fantastic job. So congratulations on that success. Seriously.
Yeah, and who was the guy who told you was going to sell all of it to Carolina? He's got 2 thumbs. I told you that when he was on the last.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did
told you
fantastic. Geez, I ran into him the first time Saturday morning. Well, it was actually probably closer to noon by the time I got there. What did you say? You had like maybe 30 of them left, at a quick count. And we were back in there, not even a half an hour later, and he was down to under 20. He was just moving. They were right on fire. So
Adam, are we getting that dragon?
That's the $700 question, isn't it? Yeah, no, seriously, congratulations. That was well deserved.
Right, it was.
Yeah. So yeah, awesome job, awesome job. The good news is you got a whole year to. Yeah, the dragon has been ordered.
The reason I asked you about the dragon because I kind of want to see him unbox it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even on here.
Yeah. So down to 3 and Sunday morning. Yeah. Fantastic. And then the good news, like I said, you got a whole another year to build up an inventory to
do it again.
To do it again.
Yeah.
So and lots of success in between. Don't get me wrong. So yeah, there's that. Awesome job. Awesome. Let's do the Kickstarter, Shane. If you want to.
All right.
Yay! This is Wayne's latest book. And it's a wish book, like he's done 2 volumes of already.
Mm-hmm.
And they were wildly successful. And he decided to postpone volume 3 and do a wish book devoted to just G.I. Joe.
Yep.
We looked at the prototype in hand. We were able to see it. It's absolutely fantastic. He's in cahoots with 3D Joe's, which was the book we showed you last week, The Art of G.I. Joe. So all of those toy pictures and all of that stuff comes from 3D Joe's archives. It's very professionally done. It's absolutely awesome. It's got a brand new slip case with the flag on it it will be coming with.
Oh, I will say that 3D Joe's Blu-ray set is really good.
Okay. And this is funded. So this is a guaranteed thing. And Wayne isn't one of these ones where he's going to pocket some money and disappear to Saigon or something. These books are actually going to get made. My guess is they will be made quicker than expected. Shoot, $70, 65, 70. I'd have to look at my receipt.
I can't remember.
$65 to $75. Where are we?
Yeah.
If you are a Joe collector, this is 100% worth it. Seriously. And it is down to, I sent that to Shane this morning about 11 hours ago. So if you want to back this book, you have, well, I'm going to say it. At this point in time, I think you have less than 70 hours. You have less than 60 hours, truth be told. So
yeah,
get on it. You will not, I'm telling you guys, this is not like that Art of G.I. Joe, the 22-pound book that we were showing before. I will never, ever regret buying that book either. But this book is about a fifth of the price. And you will never, ever, ever regret having this book. Mark my words. You will never regret having this book. So, and he's been a supporter of this channel. He's been on a few times. He's always great to us every time we come across him. So if you ever thought that something, under $100 is worth putting on a credit card or, whatever, this would be it. I'm deadly serious about that. You will not ever regret having this book. So go over there and support Wayne in any way that you can. Hey,
What
fellas.
up,
So
Now, Wayne's a great guy too.
He's a fantastic guy.
We've had him on here 2 or 3 times already.
Yep. So, and he's always been appreciative of our support for him. I know he lives in Atlanta, so he's a local guy. Let's be real. Yeah. I mean, it's a big country.
You can find him on Facebook at Retro Toy Quest.
Yep, he's the guy that's done the posters.
They're fantastic too.
So go watch the video if you're still unsure. But I'm serious, guys. If you really ever sat down and go, gee, I don't know if I really want to spend that much money on a book, this would be the book to pull the trigger on. Seriously, I guarantee you will never ever regret owning this book ever. So do that. Time's running out.
The video he explains, and he's got a video with it that explains it really, really well on what you're getting.
Yes,
and I don't think any Joe collector don't want to miss this.
You just don't. This is going to be great. All of the accessories, everything broken down by year, figures. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, the file cards are accounted for. Yes. The variants. All of it. It's not going to go into I don't think he goes into the box art and stuff like the art book that we've got does, but accessories, all of it is going to be laid right out for you perfectly. It's a great reference book, and you got to jump.
And if everybody remembers the last Joe book that showed you every piece that went with every figure is well over $200 now.
We saw a third print of that book. And it was 170, $180.
And if you're starting out vintage Joe collection, this right here would be a perfect gift for you to start with.
Exactly.
This is going to sound silly. John and I had this conversation, and he and I are both in agreement with this, and Shane is too. Look, we're not young men anymore. Let's be serious. Let's get real. Some of us are older than others, but and like Corey's not quite where we are, but that'll catch up with him too. We are going to get to a point. We're going to get to a point where we're just not going to have the room for our collections, and someday somebody else is going to inherit them or buy them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
These books that we're accumulating are. I'm telling you, I'm deadly serious. They are going to mean the world to us someday because we're going to treat these things like our grandparents did photo albums.
Right.
We're just going to take these books down off the shelf and we're just going to sit and look at them and remember the things that we had, and remind ourselves of the things that we had. And I'm telling you, this archival stuff is going to be very, very important. You mark my words. And let's face it, there's stuff, and I don't care who you are, unless you're John. There's stuff in this book that you're never going to have.
Exactly.
Right? I'm kidding with John, but I'm only half kidding. There is stuff in this book that you're never going to have. So that's a cool thing. That's a cool thing. And just think about it, guys. You got a few days left, but don't leave Wayne hanging. Don't. Get it done. And the good news is I know this for a fact. The more backers they get, the faster these things get produced.
Right.
If the numbers go up, it doesn't slow down production. It actually speeds it up because they have more money to play with right off the bat, and it doesn't. It moves a lot quicker with more money greasing the wheels, so to speak. So there's that. So the next one is, you guys remember the G.I. Joe compendium? I know a lot of us got them. This is the Transformers. And this one comes in 3 different versions. Well, 4 different versions, actually. You can do the American in the 2 different covers. You can do the Autobots covers, or you can do the Decepticon covers. You can do the UK in the Autobot, and then you can do there's a mixture option that's called all until all are one, and you get the 4 books. But the way they're printed is between the US and the UK books, they're printed in correct reading order. So if you look at the breakdown of like compendium number 1, compendium it'll say US 1 through, what does it say? US through 1 through issues 1 through 23. And then it says UK issues, whatever they were. There's like 4 or 5 issues in there. And then it'll go back to the US, and then it jumps back and forth so that it's actually set up in proper reading order, not just the order in which they were printed on the different sides of the Atlantic. They are the same price as the Joe sets, which is $300. This sucker funded in less than 2 hours. As you can see, it's looking like this is probably going to surpass G.I. Joe as the most successful Kickstarter comic book campaign. Joe Compendium went to what, 3.4 million, 3.7 million? This one's at basically 2.5 with 24 days to go. I'm offering this. This is not like Wayne's book, where I strongly suggest you buy it. This I'm going to recommend, though. If you're a comic book fan, if you're getting more and more nostalgic in your thinking for the better stories, the adventure stories, the just good reading stories, like the Joe Compendium, this would be fantastic. I did not ever read the Transformers comics until the Skybound, the new universe, the Energon universe. I didn't read. So these, if I can, in the next 3 weeks, I think I'm going to try to invest in that all-or-one set. I think that would be cool to have.
Yeah,
it would look great next to my Joe set. And so I mean, I would if you can, this would be a good investment for you. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Mason. This I wouldn't be surprised if this one went to 5 million. I really would
easily. Yep.
Transformers has been continuous where Joe's really weren't. So as far as fan base goes, so I can see a lot more. There's a lot more Transformers fans than there are G.I. Joe. This one
fully funded in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. There you go. Yeah. So there you go. I was thinking it was 2 hours, but it's crazy.
2 minutes.
Absolutely crazy.
Fully funded in 2 minutes.
And
G.I. 6 minutes, right?
What's that?
G.I. Joe was funded in 6 minutes.
I don't remember what it was. It was ridiculously fast. Ridiculously fast.
I think it was just under 6 minutes on the G.I. Joe one. And the G.I. Joe paperback volume 1 of the compendium is hitting GameStops.
That's a special cover. So there's the Skybound ones, and then there's the GameStop exclusive. So that's good to see. I will say this about Skybound: they have been spot on with their delivery times on these.
Right.
If not just a hair early. So these are supposedly for U.S. customers. Are supposed to ship by the end of this year. So. You would have them. I know I had my Joe set before Christmas. So, and this one's actually earlier in the year than the Joe set was. So,
right.
And again, they've got their relationship all established with the printer now. They know what to do. They've already done one. So, like the slipcover box and like that has already been produced. It's just a matter of printing it differently. So, I wouldn't be surprised if these came in quicker. And I guarantee you, these are already in production. With those numbers, these suckers went into production this
3
past
minutes
week.
after.
Yeah. So There's no doubt in my mind that these, as far as the pages go, they're probably already processing. And if they do, then they'll have the foil covers like the Joe set. They got the ribbon bookmark. I don't know if they'll do the edging. What's it called? The gilding. But, I guarantee you, in some way or form, these books are already in production. So
I'm with you on that one.
I get it, guys. It's a $300 investment. But you would never in a million years replace that book set, that storyline for that kind of money. There's just no way.
You couldn't buy every single comic for that.
No. And you know what? There were concerns when the Joe set came out about readability because they're so huge and thick.
Yeah.
You read them perfectly fine, and it's not damaging the spine at all. So there is that. So that one is a hey, you know what? If you can, absolutely. Wayne's book is a strong recommendation. And if you don't want that one, if you're not that heavy into Joe's, go check out the other Wish books that he's got, because that covers a lot of the more obscure and smaller lines from the 80s. So he does some great stuff.
He does.
So now let's do our first ever weird and wild Toy Story, right? We needed a big promo for that because
why didn't you ask me to animate one?
This is a strange story. And it's legitimate. It
is legit.
It is legit. This is real. There was a tractor trailer, stolen on its way to the McFarlane warehouse, containing apparently all this. Maybe this should give you an idea on production numbers, right? Because I drove truck for a long time. I could probably calculate the load, but if I wanted to, all of the McFarlane Supergirl, Girl of Tomorrow figures were on this one truck, and it was stolen. And they have no leads. They have no idea where the truck is. And they don't have any idea where the figures are. So Walmart has canceled all of their pre-orders because they are not going to receive these figures.
Thanks a lot, John.
Yeah, John. I would have gotten
funny. This happens, and he's sick now. Just say.
He knows I'm an old truck driver. John's probably sitting in a parking lot somewhere trying to get the damn thing to move. He could have just let me in on it, and we'd have been home by now. This is just a weird story. You want my honest guess? These figures they come into Long Beach and they're in intermodal containers, right? These guys were looking for a electronics payday. They were hanging around. They were waiting for one of these intermodal trucks to get left in a position where they could get a hold of it, or somebody left a key in it or whatever, left it running, and off they go. They were probably looking for a big payday with, designer clothing or electronics. Let's face it, intermodal stuff from China, and they got a truckload of Supergirls.
They're probably going to turn themselves in at this
They're
point.
not going to turn themselves in. That truck is sitting somewhere out in the middle of the woods. They probably buried those figures. They've sold that container on Marketplace for $3,000. The truck has been set on fire out in the middle of the desert somewhere, and that's the end of the story.
I think probably sitting on the side of the road somewhere in the desert. They just abandoned it after found out what's in it.
They'd have found it by now, Corey. They'll burn those trucks. When this happens, they burn them. They literally sell the containers because people buy them for storage. They're not traceable. The containers themselves, that stuff probably got buried and the truck has been burned. They'll find a burned up truck. You watch. You're muted.
Well, have you heard anything is McFarlane going to redo them? Or
I don't believe McFarlane has time to redo them.
They've moved on from that.
Oh no,
I'm talking about at a later date.
No, I doubt it.
These figures were probably produced 6 months ago, and he's moved on.
Yeah. We thought the
'Cause I was-
Wonder Woman was expensive.
Oh, you wait.
If
I was really looking forward to that.
if anyone actually gets this figure, oh my goodness, it's going to be expensive.
So
could you imagine those guys when they popped open that container and they started cutting into them boxes and all it was soup?
I mean, seriously,
they were paid, man.
they're looking for 95-inch TVs by the pallet, right? And what did they get? You know, this is just a weird story. This is just a flat out weird story.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Mine is still on pre-order, not with Walmart. So,
Oh man.
Was this a Walmart exclusive?
No.
Okay.
No, it was one of those ones where they were up on Walmart the longest, and people, got them.
It was something.
It's just a strange story. I mean, it's just a weird, wacky story that somebody stole a whole truckload of one figure, which is still very weird to me. They said that the truck was on its way. If you read the email there, supposedly the truck was on its way to McFarlane warehouse, where it was going to be sent directly to a Walmart distribution center. That's the only reason I can think that they would have all one figure. A truckload of one figure is very strange.
Maybe it's just how he likes transporting them.
Doesn't.
Still not the strangest toy story I've ever heard. The strangest one, how Shane pushed me down when he was in front of me at Target.
I think the strangest story I've ever heard is Palatoy burying thousands and thousands and thousands of Star Wars figures in the 80s that they couldn't sell.
Exactly.
That is still a thing where people are still searching for that Palatoy dump because they're going to go dig all that stuff up, which makes no sense because it's been buried for 40 years. How much would it even? What would it be worth?
Oh, the figures probably.
It wouldn't even be. They would probably be degraded by now. So badly.
They're already degrading, right? So I mean,
I've heard Funko doing the same thing.
Oh well, that was all over the news. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Funko had to do that because
they dropped $24 million worth of Funko Pops in the dump.
Well, yeah, they had to because the warehouse space was more valuable than the figures that were taking up the space. Apparently, I will say this. Apparently, Funko, as of last Friday, stock price-wise, Funko took the biggest beating. And they weren't doing great before that. So, you know what? The handwriting may be on the wall as far as Funko goes, as far as longevity. I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be able to do it. But, yeah, I mean, there's something very strange about the idea. We knew, good Lord, Mike told us 2 years ago that McFarlane was going to all figures per case, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Which was really going to mess everything up. And it allowed them to pack the figures 5 and the 6th being the platinum. So it does sound very strange, but apparently that's the model that McFarlane's been using for. See, now the second part of his point, Lone Dragon here, and all of the Supergirls that got made fit into a single truck, not all of them that got made, all of them that were allocated to Walmart is what the story is.
Yeah.
Now, if I sit here and do my math with tie and high and 23 pallets and case size, that would be
a bunch of bent boxes.
9 per. Okay, so there would be 27. This is an estimate, guys. I'm doing my weights in my head because, believe it or not, I used to do this. There'd be 27 cases per pallet and 24 pallets on a 48-foot trailer. Okay. So there's 6 figures to a case, right? So you got 27 times 6 is 42. No, I got it. Thank you. 162. That's 162 figures per pallet, right? Times 24. that one I'm going to use my calculator for.
3,888 figures.
There you go. Thank you. So let's say my math is just off and the allocation was 4,000 figures to Walmart. That's probably not unreasonable because everybody else had them too.
Right.
So when you start talking about numbers, and we've all heard these rumors over the years that a lot of production runs on individual figures are like 30 to 36,000, right? Those are always the numbers that were kind of been rumored.
Right.
You got McFarlane kept his, Walmart had some, Big Bad, EE, blah, 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 blah. If everybody was allotted 4,000 figures, the big distributors, the big distributorships, plus whatever GameStop wanted here and there, I don't think that may not be as unreasonable as it sounds. You know what I'm saying? So
I think they're going to be as rare as his teeth, though. If you see one, you better grab one.
Well, here's the weird thing. I want you to think about this. They may be rare for a while, but if by some, like Corey says, they find the truck sitting on the side of the road and that is intact, that will sit as evidence for however long until it's released back to the manufacturer if there isn't an arrest and a trial, or it will sit there as evidence until the end of the trial.
Right.
Unless McFarlane could just make an agreement to set an established value, but more than likely they'd still keep it as evidence.
Right.
You may be looking at a situation where 2 years down the road, all of these Supergirl figures get dumped onto a market that doesn't even exist anymore because McFarlane doesn't have the license. That could be funny. How could McFarlane sell figures that he doesn't even have a license for? I mean, I bet Todd is probably going, please, 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 please don't let them find that truck. Because, I mean, think about that. Can you imagine having 30,000 figures that you can't sell? Right. They're worth more to insurance to him right now than they are at retail.
Exactly.
So he'll get full price on the insurance. But
Yeah,
the retail,
he'll probably write it off. He probably write it off from the insurance and be done with it as far as this part goes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. As far as I know, McFarlane does not have multiple distribution centers. He has one.
Yeah.
And it does not sit there long. That's why McFarlane will announce a figure on Saturday, and that sucker's already on its way to the stores, and they show up the next week. Because he has one distribution center. He doesn't store stuff like the big boxes. It comes into Long Beach, it's on a truck, it's in Arizona, and it's shipped.
Why?
That's one thing I like about McFarlane. He don't waste time.
He doesn't have the space to waste time.
No.
So yeah, it's a strange it's a weird story. It is a weird toy story. That one will go down in history as a weird toy story.
Okay. Did you get the thing that he sent you?
Yeah, but he didn't pay any attention to it. He probably looked at it and goes, what is this nonsense? Okay, guys, would you please, if you have one of these or you know where one might be, and don't you tell me it's $2,700 because it's not going to happen. But
it's $100. What I've always said.
Okay, $2,600.
Exactly. The boy wants one. If you know where one might be, let me know. How's that? Keep in mind.
I've never even seen this. What is Half-Life?
Video game from.
I've seen one a long time ago.
This game is older than he is.
It's from 2007. It's not much older than me.
It's still older than you.
Not much older than me.
It's older than you.
Really? Let me do the maths. It'll be 2010, right?
Yeah. This is really easy math.
2009.
You just said
2008, 2007.
Yep.
3 years older than me.
Yeah.
That ain't older than me.
You probably ought to listen. Your marching orders are coming down the stairs, and you better be
talking to Silas.
Oh, well, I was hoping she was talking to you because
Yeah,
that is freaking awesome. That's awesome.
You gotta put that on a shirt.
I'm planning on it.
See, I told Emmett he needs to name his 3D printing business GMOTU GNE Toys.
Yeah, good night, Emmett.
Emmett.
It'd actually be GNE 3D.
There you go. GNA 3D. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
CNA 3D production.
GNE 3D. That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, it's not really bad. So did I get my 30% for having you come up with that name?
Oh, absolutely. Because at this point in time, 30% of losing money, you're more than welcome to it.
Hey, I ain't in the losing money business.
That's going to be a problem. I will say that the 3D printing thing, at this point, and I mean everything comes out of China. The filament, a lot of it. The good news about filament is there is probably tonnage of that stuff that's sitting in U.S. warehouses, and all of that stuff's been long since paid. The printers, even the one we got in for Christmas, that wasn't in stock. That was shipped directly from China, because
China.
they don't keep them in stock. That's probably going to change. If they even continue to get this stuff for a while. So
last I heard, the last administration with the ATF was talking about making having to fill out paperwork like for a pew, because you can put pew parts with them. I don't know if that changed or not with the administration change.
No, you can order them right offline.
Yeah, you can still get them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you can go to Amazon.com right now.
No, they're never going to be. You can't. That's like you regulating CNC machines because you might build a gun part or a drill press or whatever. I mean, if somebody wanted to go down that foolish route, you could use almost any tool a gunsmithing tool.
Yeah.
Does it happen? Sadly, yeah, it sure does. It's just like automobiles and drunk drivers. I mean. Neither one of those are banned, the alcohol or the car. So
exactly.
Well, I got a gunsmithing tool. What I use it for is to separate pop pins out of joints and elbows.
Yeah, I get in trouble for printing one.
Why would you get in trouble for printing an empty chamber indicator?
But technically, it's a gun part.
No, it's not.
It's a part to tell you that the gun's not loaded.
It's not a part of the gun.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You stick it in.
Buddy, I think they made lowers.
Yeah, lowers and block switches and crap like that. Yeah. That's where your problem is. I mean, no, unless you've got one of the new metal printers, you're not out there printing auto sears or anything else. And plastic isn't going to take it. This whole ghost gun thing where the media is they're printing guns. No, they're not. You still have to have a metal bolt face and a metal barrel, and it's not, they're not printing whole guns. They're just making a mess of parts.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a small story about one of my first pew AR pews. The bottom of it was a polymer, and I was shooting 300 blackout with the upper, and about the fourth shot, boom, it's gone.
Well, yeah. Why would you do that?
So, because my pop gave me the lower. I reckon he wanted to see me take it, and so I had to go get a metal lower and just put all the parts from that and back into it to get it to work. So. Yeah, so I wouldn't have one if you printed me one.
No.
It makes noise.
Most of that stuff is just whatever. I mean, it's just we've all been through that. I don't care what it is you're into, and I'm dead serious. I don't care what it is you're into. You could be a stamp collector, and I could sit down with my little Google machine here and come up with some hairy, scary story that the media has cooked up for controversy and eyeballs. About every topic under the sun. There's something wrong with everything because that's what the media pushes on people.
That scared me because we was trying to side in the gun or the pew, and we only had 4 rounds in it, and if they'd been filled, they'd have drove the bolt through my shoulder.
No, don't screw around with cheap stuff and guns. I don't,
No.
Buy once, cry once. That's the motto in the gun world. Buy once, cry once. That's it.
It was actually bought lower. It wasn't a 3D printed when it was actually bought, but it was polymer.
Oh yeah, they tried that polymer crap and it didn't work.
Yeah.
They tried reinforcing them and they did. It just doesn't work.
But I'm like, he gave me a free pew, so I don't know why he done it.
Well,
But he was nice enough to buy me a metal one and lower and put it back in. My uncle put it back together for me. So
nice. No, I don't know. I will say this, guys. There is a lot. I've noticed it even pre-tariff. Just since the last show 2 weeks ago, there are a lot of channels, YouTube toy channels, collector toy channels, stuff that they really have gone off the negative cliff all of a sudden. Collecting is over as we know it. Hasbro is going to be out of business. Mattel is going to be out of business. And like I said, it was pre-tariff stuff. The economy, for regular people, the economy isn't great. But the truth is the economy hasn't been great for a very long time. Is a lot of our debt and credit card spending over the last few years catching up with a lot of us? Yeah. Our price increases catching up with a lot of us? Yeah. Is the political climate an issue? Yes. Is the collapse of media support for these IPs? And let's face it, Marvel and Star Wars are definitely taking the brunt of that. Yes. Are the massive sell-offs to clearance houses that we've seen in the last, 3 years, guys? Is that a factor? Yeah. Is the fact that all of those clearance houses are now stuck with literally thousands and thousands of pieces of product that they can't sell? Yeah. Is it the end of collecting? No. Are our numbers about to shrink drastically? Yes. And we've been saying this for a long time because of the Johnny-come-latelys that showed up during COVID. Right? The guys that got into collecting in 2020, 2021, they had time and they had free money. And, that stuff's finally dried up.
Yep.
So is it going to change? Yeah. Are we done yet? No, I don't think so.
Well, I think what hurt Hasbro the most in all of this, which ended up mostly at Ollie's, is the MCU stuff and the new Star Wars. The old Star Wars, the reproductions, and the comic book stuff, you didn't see that dip at all.
Comic books are in trouble. They really genuinely are. DC is experiencing quite a little sales boom with the Absolute Universe, but we've all been here before. The movies, the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff, and even the DC stuff is a mess. There was two of the actors from the Fantastic Four did a interview with Variety, apparently this past week. Some of the stuff that was said in that, whether there's anything to it or not, it's so hard to tell. It's just
exactly.
I think that's more Chicken Little stuff.
This one right here, this comment right here is exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly right. Because somebody coined the phrase a few years ago, we're addicted to outrage. This culture is addicted to outrage. We're not happy unless we're outraged about something. And
exactly.
Even if it has to be made up. And at this point in time, it's made up. We don't know.
Well, say I got my eyebrows raised the other day. Me and the girlfriend, we was over at Ollie's.
Yeah.
And she found said they come out with another reissue of G1s, Transformers.
Yeah.
They're made at the Ollie's. That surprised me.
It's just.
I mean, I've seen
what it is. I mean, I don't think that necessarily spells the end of anything. I think it's a bad business decision.
I mean, I've seen Transformers out, but I've never seen G1s on.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing, and it is not difficult to produce this stuff in the United States.
No.
In theory. But let's face it, with the environmental demands
Mm-hmm.
and permitting, and it's going to take you 12 years to get through the permitting process to build and equip the factory to do that. And then let's be real, where are you going to get the manpower to man that factory that's full of entry-level jobs? Because that's the only way you're going to be able to keep them affordable, is if they're all entry-level jobs.
Yep.
Right.
That would go full automation.
Yeah, but we're not there yet. That's
No.
the dirty little secret. There's nothing that's manufactured anywhere that's full automation. It's not
Right.
possible yet.
I think we're 15 to 20 years away.
I think we're probably about half that, probably closer to 5 to 7 years at the rate that they're moving. But good Lord, look, our manufacturing base from the infrastructure side was given away 40 years ago. It's going to be very difficult to rebuild it. Do I want it rebuilt? More than anything, because I want a strong, stable, long-lasting United States of America for my kids and my grandkids. I want that a whole lot more than I want cheap toys. Am I willing to go through a whole lot of pain to get back there? I am, yes.
Yep.
But
Well,
that doesn't mean the rest of the country is going to get on board. And the fact of the matter is, huge amounts of the rest of the country would have to get on board.
Right.
Just have to.
yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's there anymore, guys. I just don't.
You look at stuff of the majority of all these. Just take Florence, for example. That's the closest one to me. Most of the stuff there is MCU stuff and Star Wars stuff made for the streaming service. Very rarely, I mean, I think there's one wave was with Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave. But that's all the comic book stuff you see there. And if you find any Joes, it's from the movie.
Or Lady J.
Or Lady J.
Well,
No, actually, I didn't see a Lady J over there this time. The last time I went.
It's funny. That Art of G.I. Joe books comes with the 3 DVDs. So you watch the DVDs and you learn an awful lot about the production and marketing and design and selling of toys to retailers. It's a long process, and I have to say this, it was based on, all of it was based on media support, right? So you have these salespeople and these designers and these executives at both the manufacturing and at the retail level that are all operating out of an old playbook, because the fact of the matter is the media support for these IPs don't have any support, right? I don't want to go into the politics of the whys and the hows. The fact is, media support is absolutely positively in the toilet for most of this IP. And the manufacturers and the retailers are still operating under that old school sales where, hey, a movie's coming out, toys. Hey, a movie's coming out, toys. Well, we went through that.
Like this.
Well, we went through that, and guess what? 90% of those toys never sold.
Yeah, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, bud. They're operating under an old model, and it's just continuously getting them into trouble. And it's almost like somebody at Hasbro, somebody at Mattel, somebody needs to get on the phone with, just as an example, needs to get on the phone with Disney, or they need to get on the phone with Warner Brothers, or they need to get on the phone with Mojang or whoever it is and go, you have absolutely positively got to clean up this IP. You have got to repair this IP, because we cannot sell product based on stuff no one is interested in or is angry about.
Right.
It's almost like the toy companies need to grow a pair and go to these entertainment industries and say, look, you are devaluing the product. This is a breach of contract. We went into this expecting that the value of this is X, and you have devalued it so badly that it's actually Y. And that's a breach of contract. But no one seems to
Dave, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised Hasbro ain't pulled that yet with Disney.
I think Hasbro is going to retreat back into the digital realm, just like Chris Cox says he wants to, and never mind about the rest of it. Those licenses will expire, and they won't bother with them again. They're not going to fight with Disney. They won't fight with Disney because you know what? This guy's thinking in 7 years' time, Disney's going to be calling Hasbro wanting video games based on something, right?
Right.
They're hedging their bets in every direction that they possibly can instead of standing up for their own businesses.
Yeah.
I think Hasbro's going to lean heavily into the digital board games.
They want to go full on AAA video games. They've said it. This is not speculation. They have said it in interview after interview. They are getting away from hard toys and they are going digital.
I hate to tell them. AAA games ain't the greatest in the world right at the moment.
You're not going to convince them otherwise because, what is it, 3 of the members of the board of directors came directly from entertainment, the digital world, Microsoft. Yep. I mean, you're not going to teach these, you're not going to tell these people that their whole life is failing. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
I'm just curious how many millions so far Hasbro's made off that digital Monopoly game for mobile phone.
No, a lot.
Probably. I mean, it seems as though it was tied to everything. I just
They've made a lot off that game.
I think I'm looking at the comments here. This bump in the night. The fact of the matter is Robert Kirkman has a tremendous amount of clout and name recognition in the entertainment industry. Walking Dead pretty much so made him. Mm-hmm. Invincible is doing pretty good on Prime.
It's got too much language.
They did a lot of small episodes.
Hasbro is out of the entertainment business. They sold their production company last year. I can see them making a much larger deal with Kirkman and McFarlane for the media rights to Transformers and G.I. Joe. This Bonaventure, whatever the heck his name is, the guy that did the last G.I. Joe movies and most of the I don't think he's even a player anymore. It's just I think it's all about I think it's really, really genuinely is about to shrink in a big way. I really do. But there's a lot of potential there. We may, because of that shrinkage, we may end up with our IPs that mean so much to us actually in the hands of people that feel the same way about them, because they're not the money people that don't give two whats about it aren't going to see it as the cash cow it's been. They're going to go back to putzing with Apple or something. And get out and leave us to our stuff. Kirkman loves the content. McFarlane loves the content. They could do great things. They could really do great things. We'll see. I just don't know.
It's all a waiting game right now.
Yeah, it is. But there's big changes coming. I mean, this whole mess that we're in right now is just triggering all of that stuff. It's going to make it more necessary, but we're going to lose a lot of stuff. So there we go.
Oh, I definitely agree. It's going to get worse for this better.
Worse in the way that things are going to change. A lot of these nostalgic lines that have been popping up everywhere in the last 2 years, they are going to just disintegrate. They're not going to exist. The companies that were pushing them are not going to exist. It's going to go away. It has absolutely no choice whatsoever. It's going to look very much so like the 80s all over again. Let's face it.
It will.
There were 4 things in the 80s. The rest of it was all your grandma got you one, or your aunt or your uncle got you one because they didn't know any better. It was Star Wars, right, until about 85. It was G.I. Joe from 82 right through to 90, right? Superpowers and Secret Wars.
Yep.
At the tail end of the 80s, the Turtles came in, just as Secret Wars and Superpowers were fading out. But the 80s were all about 4 properties, not 19 like they're trying to sell us now.
Right.
And, of course, Transformers was in there. But you guys all know that Transformers guys are just like Lego guys. They were always a little different than the rest of us, right? They were the kids that had the money, and they were always a little bit separate from the rest of us. You understand what I'm saying? That will survive, too, because Japan will keep Transformers going for the next 100 years, right? It doesn't have anything to do with the U.S. market most of the time.
Well, I think Hasbro has a slimmer light in the darkness of hope right now, and it's called the new Daredevil show.
It's already crashing and burning.
Is it? I love the show.
Yeah, it's already crashing and burning. It's already failing big time. They're already projecting Thunderbolts is going to be an abject failure.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that because in the comic book it was just a parody and kind of spoof on the Avengers.
But it's what they've got. It's what they've got. And they're pushing all the wrong things because let's face it, this is a great analogy for what I'm saying. It's like Marvel has this vast, huge universe of characters, but there's only 10 of them anybody actually cares about, right? It's just like toys in the 80s. So when Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, because that's what we were programmed to like, right? When they all dispersed, the movies went away too. It's like you can keep making them, but if you're not gonna make them about the people that we care about, it dies.
Exactly.
Star Wars is the same thing. It was about the Skywalkers. Now it's not. What happened?
Yeah. You take your average person that is not into the lore as far as Marvel goes, you got Spider-Man, the Avengers, X-Men, Iron Man. That's pretty much it. That's what they know. They don't know Dakin or Banshee or...
But they don't want to either.
No, they don't.
They don't want to. And let's face it, it's been tight enough now so that no one wanted to spend 2.5 hours and $25 of their life to go watch a movie that may have an Easter egg in it that has something to do with what I actually care about over here.
Oh,
exactly.
Because that's the game they've been playing. And,
and like you said, it was all about the Skywalkers and Star Wars. It's not no more.
No. You can't make money off nostalgia with new ideas because they're not the same thing. Right?
Yep.
Oh, what are the chemicals in a glow stick?
I don't know.
They smell horrible.
Well, stop messing with glow sticks. All right. Well, you know what? That was fun. It's 9:05. Been 2 hours and 4 minutes. That's enough, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for bumping the night. I don't know who you are, but thank you very much for your participation.
Yep. Thanks for everybody showing up tonight.
Thank you. There was a couple of other names in there that in my tirades, I didn't take a minute to acknowledge you, but I am
Profit director.
Yep. Thank you very much. Adam, Mason, Timothy,
Tim.
Nancy disappeared a long time ago, but
yeah,
thank you, Nancy.
She disappeared at the beginning.
Take good care of John because
Lego Bro, Hank,
Lone
Dragon.
Nancy's got an excuse. She's the navigator that's trying to get back from Arizona.
Well, it's usually Nancy's our official timekeeper, so we went over 6 minutes, and it's Nancy's fault. Because she's usually in the background one.
and again, the figure. Everyone look for that figure.
Yes, everybody will be. That is their priority in life from now on, Emmett. Everybody.
Emmett, just for you, Emmett. I will go to the thrift store tomorrow and next door up here and look for that figure. See if I got it up there.
Mortgages and car payments will no longer be made until Emmett finds his figure.
Okay, I've been looking for it for a while now.
2 days? You just decided you wanted it 2 days ago.
Okay, your memory is horrible because I've been looking for it.
Hey,
for
good
half
night,
a year.
Emmett.
I've been looking.
Good night,
Hey,
Emmett. Good night,
I
everybody.
hate to do this to you, Dave. He mentioned about 3 months ago
I don't care.
because I thought he meant Jim Gordon,
I don't care.
Batman Jim Gordon.
I don't care. Good night, gentlemen and fans.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for
Good night, guys.
thanks for being
Thanks
here.
everyone for joining in. See y'all in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.